Hey guys, I'm a gaming potato, and welcome back to my series Blueprints by Design. So for today's episode, we have circuits. So I've built this blueprint here for green circuits. Of course, green circuits are pretty simple, so we just have copper and iron coming in. And we're getting 5 full blue belts of green circuits coming out. I have had this running for a bit, and I've noticed just the occasional little missing chip, which isn't really that big of a deal. You can see we're getting solid green right here. And for the last little bit, there hasn't been any blips there, which is pretty good. It's a pretty simple blueprint. It's basically one single row that I've just tiled 5 times. And we can see our copper and iron coming in. And then, of course, everything has productivity modules and is flanked by beacons with tier 3 speed modules in it as well. We will need stack inserters for everything here. And a couple of these are running multiple stack inserters. One thing I found is for the first stack inserter to actually have its stack count reduced. And that's because the first stack inserter in the line, let's just go down here. This one is almost always grabbing full stacks. No, not quite. I think it's around 8 or 9. And so this other one is kind of making up for that, while the secondary one gets any that were missed by the first stack inserter of the second machine. So with this setup, we get a nice solid full green belt setup, which is pretty nice. So you're able to fit 5 full green belts of circuits within this one blueprint. And this could even be made bigger. You could easily put another 2 stacks out there, 2 stacks out there, and you could have 9 green circuit lines coming out of here. But I think that's a little overkill for something like this. I think 5 is kind of a good number to keep it at. But, you know, it's just a blueprint, so you can stack more of them to the sides if you want to. And for testing purposes, I just have these infinity storage chests here that just auto delete whatever gets put inside of them just to check my flow rate. And then same thing down here. I've got these infinity chests producing resources for me. I did have this bot mining setup that I built here where the bots collect the raw resources, send them to a miner, and then collect the refined resources to bring out. But that was kind of more of a test, and I was just seeing how bot mining might be useful with a city block setup like this. So after green circuits, we have red circuits. Now with this red circuit line, because red circuits are much more complex and time intensive than a green circuit is, this setup here, even though it's roughly the same size as the 5 green circuit line, this only produces a single blue belt of red circuits. And again, you could stack more out to the side. You might be able to squeeze in, if you maxed out this block, enough to get 2 blue belts. But I like to keep them kind of confined within these roboports here so it has more of a cleaner build. So you can see we have simple inputs here. One full line here only uses less than half a belt of plastic. So we are splitting off the plastic here. So we have basically 2 lines of plastic coming in. And then we have a line of copper and a line of iron going into each row as well. And surprisingly, for this many red circuits, you don't actually need very many green circuits. This one machine produces enough green circuits for this full stack. And then we have a machine here producing wire, as the red circuits do also need some copper cable. So we have one machine here producing all the copper cable for this stack of inserters as well. So we basically have 4 stacks of red circuit assemblers, all merging into a single line here, producing 45 red circuits per second. And you'll probably need quite a few of these because with the green circuits you get 5 lines, but with the red circuits you only get a single line. And of course for that you need plastic, and I do have a plastic build that I'm going to cover in my next episode. But before that, I also built this. This is kind of a super bot mall. I basically tried to build a bot mall that'll build basically everything. So I think I've got pretty much everything that can possibly be built in this mall. Now I haven't set the requests for any of these yet, so I haven't actually had it running. But I did build this little line here where we can have raw resources coming in to feed into the bot mall. So I'll probably get this up in the next couple episodes, as it'll really help me as well producing some things that my main mall doesn't actually have produced yet, which will be pretty convenient. But this will take quite a while to get running, and we'll probably need lots of bots for this. I currently have almost 10,000 construction bots and a bit over 4,000 logistics bots. And logistics bots will be the main majority of what will be operating this bot mall. So I may even just chuck some more logistic bots in here as well. But I've also got some intermediate products in here. So things like gears. If we go down here, I have cables, iron rods. I have some engines as well, as some of these products require engines. And then up here at the top, I left space here for some of these parts, like rocket fuel here. You know, you don't have to make rocket fuel here, but if you did want to, I left a gap here so that you can feed in your light oil. And same with your blue tier logistics here. If you need to bring in lubricant for these, you can. And there's also electric motors here as well. And there's a gap there for bringing in your lubricants. And I've left all the liquid, all the assemblers that require liquid inputs up here at the top, so they're easy to access. But everything here just requires raw resources to come in to produce those parts. I can't wait to get this running. I think the bots will be going wild, which will be pretty cool. And then also, I have my plastics here. So this is a pretty big line. This build produces 8 blue belts of plastic. You can see it's not totally perfect. There's the odd little missing piece of plastic. So I'm kind of tinkering with it still. I may update it further. I think I just need to tweak a couple of these inserters here to just kind of get that sorted out. But it has been running for several hours. I think I've had this running for about 5 hours so far. And it's been going rock steady, which is pretty good. So yeah, those are my blueprints for today's episode. The green and red circuits are kind of the star of the show here. Hopefully I'll have some more products and I can kind of get these lines hooked up to stuff. I'll need to build some kind of mining outposts as well. So we'll see how that goes. But that's all I've got for today's episode. And I'll have some new stuff in my next episode, mainly for plastics. I have a massive refinery build with a bunch of chemical plants to kind of crack the heavy and light oil all the way down to petroleum, which is what fuels those 8 lines of plastic that we got. So if you enjoy my content, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll have more episodes for you soon. All right, thanks. Bye.